What's going on, everybody? So right now we're talking about phase three. Phase three, we're going to be talking about the fasting and the workouts. Like I said, phase three, week 5 and 6, that's the critical part because that's where you're going to start getting all the cravings back, all the urges back, the temptations back. So we want to make sure that we combat that by dialing everything in. And it starts with the fasting. So with the fasting, this is how I set mine up. So 7 days. So Sunday through Wednesday, I'm having a 16-8. So 16 hours fasted, 8-hour window. My 8-hour window is usually 12 to 6, 12 to 8. Sometimes, some weeks I'll go 18-6, but that's typically what I do is Monday through Wednesday, that's 16-8. On Thursday, that's when I do my 42-hour fast. So now I got up to a 42-hour fast, but if you're in phase 3, you feel good about it, especially some of you guys that I've seen that you already dropped weight, you've been on track, you might want to increase that to maybe a 24-hour fast and see how you do from there, and then each week try to increase that. But then after my 42-hour fast, then I go right back into my 16-8 for Friday and Saturday. Usually when I start my fast, I like to do it midday. So say on that Wednesday, I'll eat at 12, eat at 3, eat at 6, and then I'll fast from 6 all the way, 6 on Wednesday all the way until Friday, around Friday morning to Friday, like around noon, that'll hit that 42-hour mark. The reason why fasting matters, like fasting's non-negotiable. Like you can't control if you slip on food. Like if you with your family and you out and stuff and you eat a little bit too much or whatever, you can't control that. But fasting you can control. You can control not eating. So you just want to make sure that your fasting is always on point because sometimes your fasting can make up for some mistakes. Especially if you have a cheat meal and you need to make sure you dial in on your fasting. Just to lower your insulin levels, allow your body to burn as much of that glucose and much of that cheat meal as possible before you continue back into your regular program. And then it builds metabolic flexibility, especially with the fasting. You do that 24 hours, your insulin levels are already low. And then you eat again, and now your body knows how to utilize, especially if you have a little bit of carbs or whatever the case may be, your body already knows how to utilize it, burn it, and then convert back into burning fat. So we want to make sure that our body is just like a hybrid carb. We want to make sure that when we need to fuel it with gas and fuel it with carbs, we do that. But then when we're running out of gas, we want to make sure that it can just convert over into electric, and that's the body fat, just with ease. We don't want to have any hiccups where you're hungry and then your stomach starts growling just because you're eating too many carbs and your body's craving carbs, and then you fall back into that cycle. We don't need to be in that cycle. Right now, week 5 and 6, we're out of it. We got to make sure that we're on point, we're on track. Like our body's set weight isn't there yet, so we don't want to mess it up. So my workout splits. Everything's going to increase. The volume, the focus, the intensity. So say with me, I always start my workout week on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, I work out at home. I still get a full workout in while I'm at home, whether it's cardio with the abs, the compound lifts, the dumbbell lifts, all of the resistance training, I still get that at home. So on Saturday, I have upper. On Sunday, I have lower at home, and then Monday, Tuesday, when I go to work, right after work, I go right to the gym and I do an upper and lower day. You want to just make sure, especially if you started at 3 sets of 12, you want to increase it to 4 sets of 12. If you're already at 4 sets of 12, then you just want to maybe on a couple of the lifts. So say if you start off like shoulder shrugs, you might do set 1 is 12, set 2 is 12, but set 3 and 4, you might do 15. Like you just want to slowly incorporate that on anyone, especially if you feel like it's getting light. You want to make sure that you just increase that volume or just increase the weight. And stick with that 15 minutes on the treadmill or for 150 calories. You can up it to 175, but you just don't want to burn yourself out because you want to make sure that workout, that weight training, because that's what we're doing now, we're sculpting. We want to make sure that we're sculpting, but you want to make sure that weight training is intense. But you structure your program however you want. Everyone who's following my blueprint, week 5, week 6, that's when we start changing a little bit. So say if in that workout program you have the same structured workouts, same reps, same sets. So now what you're gonna do is going into week 5, week 6, you might want to replace one of those workouts that's in my manual or one of the workouts that you've been doing, maybe 1 to 2, try a different variation of that workout or add reps and sets. Or add weight. So you want to be able to see the progress from week 1 to week 4. That's why you want to make sure that your workouts stay consistent. You don't want to be changing it up every week or every other day, but stay consistent to see the progression. And then once you see the progression, Week 5, week 6, you may change 1 or 2, or change the structure in which you do it. So say if you do chest, if you're doing chest, back, shoulders, triceps and biceps, you might want to start off with triceps and biceps, back, shoulders, chest. Like just flip it around. You can flip it around and it'll still shock the body. Or you can just take out, hey, I'm doing incline press for the bench press. Incline press for the chest day. I might start with the decline press. So just switch it up. But just only switch up maybe 2. Keep your key movements. So whatever you really like and you feel like it's giving you gains, stick with those. And also just make sure that your rest days are consistent. Like I said, structure is everything. Structure is everything. You don't want to be just sporadic. Some people do just based off their schedule, but you want to kind of stick to a structure. You want to have your set days in terms of when you work out. And week 1 through 4, that's when you learn that. You have to learn your schedule. You got to learn, hey, I'm going to have time here, I'm going to have time here, I'm going to have time here to work. But you want to kind of keep that consistent, keep your rest days consistent, just so you can monitor your progress. But this one, man, we don't want any guesswork. We don't want to be guessing. We don't want to be eyeballing. We don't want to be doing any of that. You just want to execute. Execute what you see in that plan. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out. Some of you guys already reached out. You see how much info I'm giving you. I want to make sure that you guys succeed. So just make sure that you reach out if you have any type of questions, especially with the fasting. We want to make sure that we control that insulin level. So if you guys have any questions, just reach out. And for those of you who haven't bought the plan, but maybe considering or just want to ask questions, hit me up too. I really don't care if you bought it or not. I'm still going to answer all your questions.